Let me just say right now that Stephen Hillenburg was a remarkable human being. A man who has made one of the longest running animated series of all time, at least in terms of television standards, and mainly in terms of Western animation. There are anime series that have lasted longer, but regardless. But my main point is that this cartoon he has made, SpongeBob SquarePants, has been a favorite for many over the years, myself included. This is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Regardless if the show jumped the shark or not, it will always have a place in my heart. And there's a lot to admire about it, even as an adult. Well, okay, I'm not an adult yet, but I am a young adult. And it's amazing how a guy who started off as a marine biologist would end up taking his career in a completely different direction and would later use this influence from the wackiness of Rock Was Modern Life and many other stuff he grew up with, whether it be comics, cartoons, or whatever, to make his pure cartoon series on his own. And the fact that it's still going to this day, some shows don't even last one season. It's impressive that the show was able to last so long that it's still going on. And whether or not you think the show has gotten worse, that's still a remarkable achievement. That just shows you that he has created a show that will always have a place in people's hearts. Like me. You know, I remember the days when I attended my cartooning school back in middle school and high school. My friends and I would quote SpongeBob on the daily. It's one of the most memeified shows of this decade, if not this whole century so far. And it's always great to hear, people say, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" Or, "Where's the leak, ma'am?" Or, "SpongeBob doesn't have hair." Or does he? But also, in terms of Stephen Hillenburg himself, I don't know this entirely, but I'm pretty sure that he was a very shy person in real life. So the fact that he was able to work with people throughout this whole cartoon for so many years really is remarkable. I'm an introvert. I mean, I have friends and I'm able to get along with people, but if you're that shy and yet you still make one of the most successful cartoons of all time, that just shows you how successful of a human being he really was. And just how passionate he was about this cartoon. You can say SpongeBob sucks all you want, even if you don't like the first 3 seasons. But you can't deny this man's passion. He had a clear vision with this show, which was to have it make no sense at all, but for a good reason. 1, because it was a cartoon, and 2, because it's fun that way. He embraced the magic of cartoons. And that, in my opinion, makes a cartoon really, really, what's the word I'm thinking of? Pure. I can't think of another word, but essentially, it really makes a cartoon feel like a cartoon. Nothing against any other cartoons that aren't as illogical as SpongeBob or Looney Tunes or blah-de-blah. But when a show is able to not follow continuity for such a long time, that shows you how much he loved the show in terms of how you could get away with anything. Whether it be sneaking in innuendos, rewriting a bunch of plot points and character arcs, all that jazz. It's remarkable. But also, I should probably mention this. This could not have been a worse year for Hillenburg to pass away, because this year, I don't know if you guys know, but the Annie Awards, every year since 1972, they're dedicated to giving awards to animated products, whether they be movies, TV shows, cartoons, blah blah blah. And every year they host what are called the Winsor McKay Awards, which they give to people who have done a lot of great things for the animation industry, such as Walt Disney, Max Fleischer, Glenn Keane, James Baxter, blah blah blah, so much more. I can't even talk about them all. And this year, Glenn Keane, Stephen Hillenburg won the Winsor McKay Award. And when Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, said that you're one of the most shy yet sweetest and nicest people that he knew, that just shows you that he lived a great life. And you couldn't have asked for a better man to work with. It really is unfortunate. The fact that the man who created one of my favorite cartoons, who's also one of my biggest influences, mind you, could die this year when he was given such an amazing and impactful award is beyond words. But at the end of the day, what I want everyone to take away from all this is that even if this man has passed on, his legacy never will. Ever. Even if SpongeBob ends within the next few years, I really hope it does. Well, I mean, not because I'm sick of it, but more just because I think it's really time. Like, even if it ends within the next few years, the legacy will never end. It will always be known as one of the most beloved and famous television series in the animation industry. And that is all thanks to Hillenburg's passion. Even if you wanted the show to end after the movie, and you could tell, it's still great to know that his show, that is still going on to this day, and is probably inspiring more and more people, whether it be because they want to work in the animation industry nowadays, or they want to be a comedian, or whatever. It's great to know that he left upon us something to be remembered. Some people who were famous, they may have left things onto us, but it really takes a lot to really let them stay with you. And Hillenburg was one of the people that made something that will stay with us forever. Again, doesn't matter if you love or hate the show, it'll always be a part of you, whether you want to admit it or not. And that's why I'll never forget you, Hillenburg. Your show helped shape my childhood. Well, partially, but still. And without it, I don't know where I'd be. You're partially responsible for helping me develop my sense of humor. And I'll never forget that. Ever. And so, I'll say that you will never, ever leave my heart. For you are a part of my heart, as cheesy as that sounds. And I'll never forget that. So keep on rocking, Goofy Goobers. Keep on watching SpongeBob. Never forget Stephen Hillenburg. And until then, I'll see you guys later.